Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Shillong. And the Sai Stadium in Kokrajhar was vibrant as well. And today it's time for Manipur. When this great tournament comes back to this part of the country, a legacy of dreams, a platform of promise. These are all the performers in the Kalari Paeto. They have traveled across the venues. And this time we have 24 teams. 5 different venues, 6 different stadiums. It's getting bigger and bigger. The Indian Oil Durand Cup. For 137 years, the Durand Cup has just been more than a tournament. The tricolour always at the centre, with the Eastern Command flag and the Durand flag.
We will now commence the formal proceedings of the eagerly awaited...
And just watch the enthusiasm of the people. They've come from all across the city and even from the far-flung villages. And they're waiting for the Imphal Derby to happen. And marching on to the centre of the park, the Durand flag, followed by the Eastern Command flag and the All India Football Federation flag. The Durand Cup Organising Committee is very, very thankful to the Governor of Manipur and the State Missionary for their continued support.
Tradition and the spirit of fair play.
And this part of the 134th edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup is being organized by the Indian Armed Forces and supported by Government of Manipur. It's spectacular here. It's wonderful here. It's absolutely magnificent. And these supporters jostling, supporting, cheering is always music to the ears. And you're witnessing this wonderful spectacle. And we are coming live from the Kaman Lampak Stadium in Imphal, the lovely capital town of Manipur. The schools were closed after the lunch break. The offices were closed, and why not? These people are so fanatic about this great game. And Manipur, one of the greatest footballing hubs, and so many great talents have emerged out of this part of the country. And they keep in numbers. People talk about Brazil. We talk about Manipur, Mizoram, Goa, Kerala, West Bengal. Talents in abundance. And the Durand Cup Organising Committee has done yeoman service to the cause of development of this wonderful game. Started way back in 1888, the third oldest running tournament across the world, after the FA Cup, the Scottish Cup, and Asia's oldest. And the 2 local giants would take part. The last time it was held here was 2022. And the Group C, they finished behind Hyderabad FC, Chennai FC and Army Red side. They won one match each, NEROCA and TRAU. There's nothing short of spectacle here. This beautiful game, this beautiful tournament comes back to Imphal. And Jamal Mahmood, the referee this evening, picks up the match ball. And the two wonderful sides walk to the center of the park. The Tidham Road Athletic Union, they call it TRAU in red, and NEROCA are in white. At one time, very strong force in the I-League. And they are trying to retrace back the lost glory. And now all the distinguished guests would be walking to the center of the pitch. As again, the Honorable Governor of Manipur, Sri Ajay Kumar Bhalla, flanked by the General Upendra Dwivedi, Chief of Army Staff, one of the most distinguished four-star generals in the Indian Armed Force, flanked also by the Honorable Chief Justice of Manipur High Court, Justice Kempaiah Somasekhar, and of course, Lieutenant General Ramchandra Tiwari, General Officer Commanding in Chief, Eastern Command, and of course, the patron Durand Cup Organizing Committee, and all the other dignitaries, the distinguished guests here this evening. The Honorable Governor being introduced first to the NEROCA side. And again, General Upendra Dwivedi, one of the best teachers of the National Defense Academy. He's a keen sportsman as well. And here the Tidham Road Athletic Union players being introduced now to the Honorable Governor, Sri Ajay Kumar Bhalla. We have all the other dignitaries as well, with the Chief of Army Staff, General Upendra Dwivedi. They're all being introduced. And of course, Lieutenant General Ramchandra Tiwari, GOC INC Eastern Command, the patron Durand Cup Organizing Committee, has also been a sportsman in his school and the cadet days. They're all lined up for that keepsake photograph with the Honorable Governor of Manipur, Sri Ajay Kumar Bhalla at the center, flanked on the right by the General Upendra Dwivedi, the Chief of Army Staff, and also the patron of the Durand Cup Organizing Committee, Lieutenant General Ramchandra Tiwari. And here is the moment. The beautiful game comes back to this lovely part of the country with the Honorable Governor, Sri Ajay Kumar Bhalla, with the ceremonial kickoff. And we would be joining the match commentators, Atish Thakral and Henry Menezes.
It's Derby Day Delight here in Imphal. It's Derby Day Delight in the 134th edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup, powered by SBI and Coal India. We are in the picturesque city of Imphal, where the mountains are galore and two teams look to battle it out, not only for those 3 points in this book encounter as they kickstart their campaign in this edition of the Durand Cup, but at the same time on the bragging rights as well. As Pallada mentioned, my name is Atish Patel. Alongside me is a former India goalkeeper, Henry Meneses. Henry, what a big opportunity for NEROCA and TRAU today.
Yes, we will be witnessing one of India's football passionate local derbies. You know, these are the only two clubs from Impal who have participated in professional football. And when these neighbors clash, it's more than just 3 points to stake. It's about the local pride. Their heart and soul of Manipur football will be behind them, and that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, today's referee is Jamal Mohammed. Of course, the assistant referee is Parmeshwar Gopit Christopher, and Venkatesh R is the fourth official. For TRAU FC, when we talk about Saran Singh and his team, it's a simple 4-2-3-1. Sapam is still in goal. Raj, Rakesh, Dhananjay, and Chinkai are in the back four. Sheetal and Loya in the midfield. Monis, Jenish, and Dhana are the attacking midfielders, and Morangtham will lead the line for this attack. The team in white, NEROCA FC, of course, at one point, stalwarts in the I-League, almost challenged for the title a few years ago. But as of right now, Gyan Moyon has a very interesting 4-4-2 lined up for you. Two Rohits in the back four alongside Sanathoy and Japes. David and Jackson Gomado will be on the flanks. Dinesh and Roger in midfield centrally. And the line is being led by the Liberian and the Nigerian in the form of Mark Harrison Jr. and Ekom Philip. Henry, very interesting. NEROCA are the ones that have the international players in their lineup. As we take a look at the teams or the benches as well, certain names seem familiar, but different surnames, like Ronaldo in NEROCA FC. But keep a lookout for the next Rohit as well in the number 37 on that side. Vijeshwar Singh is a young talent. Plenty of young talents have been deployed here during the 134th edition of the Durand Cup as they look forward to next season and look forward to developing these squads further for the future.
Yes, they have been a football hunting ground, you know, for players all over the country. And Manipur has been one of the teams, one of the states that has been delivering players time and again. But today, the tactical battle will be fascinating to watch. Both the coaches know that a derby like this, form goes out of the window. You have to be there 90 minutes, struggling, putting the pressure on the opponents and delivering what matters the most.
And so we've arrived at the high places in the 134th edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. Imphal, the location. Two local teams battling it out, going head-to-head in TRAU FC and NEROCA FC. This, of course, is the opening encounter of the Group F, which also includes Real Kashmir and, interestingly enough, the Indian Navy. So three teams from the mountains, one from the sea, Henry.
Yeah, of course. And that's how football is going to the people. You know, we're seeing 6 different stadia. We've seen 5 states, 24 teams. It's really interesting to watch because nowadays we need the football to go to people, and this is a great example from the Durand Cup.
Interception there by one of the experienced foreign heads that have been deployed by NEROCA FC. Tangam Saran Singh on the sidelines for TRAU. Has a few familiar names in his side, like the likes of Sheetal or Dhananjay or Rakesh or Dhana, all of whom were playing last season as well in the squad, in the senior squad, in the I-League 2. So he'll be relying on their experience.
They've always been, you know, in the derby situation over here, the crowds packing the stadium, but nevertheless, they've always been taken away that winning moment from NEROCA, and TRAU has a point to prove today.
Long ball, meanwhile, trying to catch the run of the number 10, Ekom Philip. Fascinatingly enough, only 3 foreigners in all 22 that are on the pitch as we speak, and all 3 foreigners are in seemingly attacking positions for NEROCA FC.
Yeah, it means a lot, you know, for NEROCA.
Meanwhile, there is a chance for the team in white. NEROCA gave it with the shot. The follow-up was high in the sky as the crowd hopes and prays. NEROCA comes oh so close.
It was a really great move over there from NEROCA, simply splitting the defenders. The defender just couldn't manage that ball, which came back to him. Goalkeeper really did not know how to collect that. But look at that shot, defended very well by the defender. And then David had to just tap that ball, keep it in the frame. It would have been difficult for the goalkeeper.
Meanwhile, intercepted. Kept in play. Good play by Sheetal at that moment, the captain of the side. Passing it on to Loya. And now TRAU on the attack. Trying to find the runner, Morantham. The keeper comes off his line. Henry Menes says, you've been a keeper back in the day. He came out of his box at a particular instance.
The ball was very close to the defender and the attacker. You know, the keeper should have kept himself in the goal because the defender had the ball with him. But nevertheless, communication is very important up front there.
Meanwhile, David trying to link up play. Couldn't really do so. Possession back with Santhoy. On the left flank, that was Ecom Philip. Trying to spot the run of the Ghani and Gomado, but to no avail.
Yeah, both the teams are playing a little aggressively, very compact, not giving space whatsoever. They have been pressurizing every time the ball is coming. It's going to be interesting. They have to keep that composure, the concentration right. One mistake can create the hassle, the punishment. You know, they have to be really focused during this game, especially in the early times.
I was wondering why Thangjam Saran Singh's name sounded so familiar. He's played for NEROCA back in the day. And of course, spent a lot of time in Churchill Brothers, as well as the keepers put under pressure. Santosh Morantham with the run. The referee blows his whistle.
Yeah, they're playing a little bit high in the defense, so they've got a little more space behind them. That's the reason the ball was punted up. But the goalkeeper does pretty well, though it was an offside position for the striker.
Vaikom Rohit. Two Rohits in the back four, one wearing the number 66 and the other 24 for NEROCA. On the left, trying to track the run of Japes, but intercepted pretty well by Raj. But yet again, NEROCA on the attack. Good control, first time touch. That's Ecom Philip taking on the centre back. On the left, he draws a foul. And it's a free kick to NEROCA FC.
Yes, we need to see the combination of Harrison, Victor, along with David and Roger up front, Jackson on the right. It's going to be very interesting when it comes to combination. We have yet to see that strike. Nevertheless, this was a great move there. Trap from behind, trip from behind there. Easily visible to the referee.
Yeah, it seems like the perpetrator there was Dhana. And it's a free kick in an interesting position. 5 minutes in towards the near post. But no takers except for the keeper. Into the safe hands of Snapam Singh.
A great ball that was, right in front of the defenders, where nobody really had to run. But nevertheless, the goalkeeper does pretty well to collect it.
Kinkai. Great interception there by Kinesh. Long ball, trying to find the run yet again of Mark Harrison Jr. Oh, slight mistake there by the defense. Sapam in a bit of worry. It's a little nervy out there, Henry.
Yeah, it's very nervy because the pressure is on. The pressing football is going on. The compactness is so huge. You should see that there's not more than 30-yard difference between the two lines.
And now there could be a chance for Monis. He combines with Morantham. Eventually cleared their lines, NEROCA, but they were in a spot of bother for a second.
Yeah, quick moves, and that is very important. The passing is absolutely brilliant. The control is good. They really go out onto the space that is required. And this was a miscommunication between the goalkeeper and the defender, but nevertheless, he gets back behind the ball and brings out the save. They have to be careful of these errors. I told you that this is a very fast, quick game. It's going to be very solid, sturdy, and robust. a little bit weakness shown over here is going to punish them. Concentration is very important. Focus on the ball is very important. Where the man moves, because there's a lot of movement in this entire game.
Yeah, no doubt, it has been end-to-end so far. And it's the first corner for TRAU. A set-piece routine towards the edge of the box. The shot doesn't clear the first line of defense. A weak attempt in the grand scheme of things. As David launches his afterburners. He's easy to pick out with that peach blonde hair. Ever thought of doing that back in your career, in your young days?
No, I think we had some strict coaches that time, but now very liberal here. They don't mind what hairstyle you have, but you have to have the performance on the ground.
It doesn't matter what hairstyle you have to have style on the ground, Henry. You have to have style on the ground. Swatted away. Not too much style in that. That was no nonsense by Rakesh Singh.
It's very interesting to see this defenders very cool, calm. Only that communication between the goalkeeper was not very good enough in the earlier stage. But I think slowly and steadily in the game, they will go up in confidence. They'll grow a little bit into the attack.
Dinesh taking a run up towards the far post. It was flipped towards goal. An attempt out of nothing by Mark Harrison Jr.
Yeah, it was a great ball, straight away inside. Goalkeeper does not react to that, not coming out, being in the safe place. But nevertheless, this could have been touched by Harrison or by the other foreigner, Victor. It's important here that you get inside and connect the ball, because such throws come in, deceive all the defenders. You have to keep your eye and move up.
There's the chance, Mark Harrison Jr. It falls towards Dinesh, jostling for the ball are the team in red. 4 against 1, and eventually they manage to clear the line. Bonus, too much time. It can fall towards Harrison, clattered in the box.
Pressing football, we talk about no space to really handle. It's not very easy, but look at the way they cleared the ball very well. The number 3, Dhananjay, he's been absolutely brilliant. You've seen him stop one shot through his chest, but the other one just heading it out to safety. Really great defending there from the defenders, but it's important over here to understand NEROCA is moving up in style. They're spreading the defenders. They're trying to make that space between them and trying to get inside.
Cross in the middle towards the far post, well defended there by Raj Singh. Right at the opportune moment, because there was a threat being posed by Mark Harrison Jr.
Yeah, lovely whip from that place. You really need to have the head behind it. There's nobody there really judging that ball. The ball comes in beautifully over the defender. The goalkeeper does not attempt for it. But then Raj was the man who really flicked it out for a corner.
Yeah, first corner there. Now for NEROCA. Interesting signage through Roger. Crossing his arms, you don't see that often. Towards the near post. Bounces as Victor tries to capitalize. Sapam Singh says, thank you very much.
That is bad defending, I would say. That ball should have been cleared at the first attempt before it bounced to the striker there. Look at that. He just misses that header. But the header was so feeble that the goalkeeper was easily available to catch that ball.
Ikomabong Victor Philip, of course, Ikom Philip as he's known, has played for Delhi FC and last season was in Bhutan for playing for Dhruv Layul. Plenty of experience in Asian football and specifically football in the Indian subcontinent.
I think there's a lot of players, around the country who make a point to the coaches, switch clubs, and that's going to be interesting. This Durand Cup, there will be a lot of coaches with the pen and paper watching players, talented players out here to rope them up for the next season.
We saw that happening. Diamond Harbour FC has, in a way, completed a coup because they have Luka Maichin in their ranks now.
Yeah, he's one player, who's got an eye for a goal. We saw the last time he got the 2-1 lead and then gave away 2-2 to Mohammedan Sporting. But nevertheless, yes, you're absolutely right.
Meanwhile, towards the right. Finished with the run. Again, excellent defending, but last-ditch defending, which would worry Saran Singh. Another corner to NEROCA.
Yeah. They're really risky tackles over here. Lucky that he got that tackle right. Otherwise, they have been rock solid at the defense. NEROCA has shown that they can penetrate. But now they have to show that they can score.
And Japes will swing this in with his left foot. The left back making his way all the way to the other side. Didn't get the elevation he desired, though.
Yeah. There were over 6-7 players, white shirts inside the box, and the ball goes in the first angle. Very poor shot, I would say.
It's all being played in the TRAU half, though. A few chances here and there for TRAU FC to get out, but it's NEROCA who piling on the pressure. Kinesh once more showcasing his upper body strength as a flick on by Harrison Jr. Couldn't find its mark. But that extra height of the two foreigners seems to be troubling the TRAU defense. Excellent pressing and defending by the captain. And Rohit combining as well. Gomado. A 1-2 with Mark Harrison Jr. Gomado from Ghana. That's a ball and a half towards the left wing. Just looking for options. In comes David, controls it well, takes his time, lays it off, and the chance is gone. The chance is absolutely gone.
Brilliant piece of work over here from Gomado. You know, he's been the man who's controlling that midfield, stretching the defense, putting the ball behind the defenders, and that's why they get the chances. But this time, David could not really strike that. The defense did pretty well to pressure and close him down. But good piece of defending, I would say, from TRAU. They have been in numbers when it matters behind there, not giving that space, not giving that last chance that is required to kick that ball into the frame.
Sheetal zings it towards his right back. Combination between Bhana and Raj. But well read there by Sanathoi. Japes, the left back, taking his time. NEROCA have been impressive in these first 15 minutes. There's been no doubt about it. Just that goal hasn't come. Nor has Sapan really been tested, one would say.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. You know, we've seen the last time also they played against each other. It was a 2-1 narrow victory for NEROCA. And previously they played a draw, 1-1. They have been scoring goals whenever they meet, but they've not really mattered so much. And TRAU is second best whenever it comes to NEROCA. So that's going to be interesting how they put that off. And lovely piece of shielding for the ball. Look at the technique. He's between the ball and the defender and earns himself a free kick. Beautiful defending there.
Yeah, Dhana there with the mistake on Mark Harrison. You just saw a glimpse of Gyan Moyon, the head coach of NEROCA. Didn't have a smile on his face, but certainly he could afford a little smirk given how his team has started.
Yeah, it's a 4-4-3-3 system. When you talk about that, there's a solid 4 defense, solid 4 midfielders, and the 2 strikers up front. Ecom Phillips and Harrison really have to make them from the wings that come in. You know, there are 2 or 3 balls wrapped from the wings, but they've not been at the end of it. They need to get onto it. They need to trouble the defenders and try and touch that ball and it hits the frame or the goalkeeper saves. And that's going to be the matter for NEROCA.
One has to give credit to the numbers that have come in this 35,000 capacity seater. All wanting to enjoy a taste of some quality football. The first game here in Imphal in this edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup, the 134th edition of a tournament started way back in 1888. Harrison Jr., Ecom Philip, trying to pass it to Gomado. A little nonchalant in his attempt. Intercept. And on the right now, piling on the pressure, Vaikom Rohit puts in a cross with his left foot, fascinatingly enough. Again, the wings are coming into play.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say over there, because whenever the wings are there, They get in, they wrap the ball. The defense is really deep inside, wanting to anticipate each and every move that comes on the wing. And that's the reason why they have been overpowering the strikers over there. The three men up from Gumado, Victor, and Harrison not yet combined the way we want them to. Otherwise, this could have been a battle of mighty versus the defense.
Yeah, so far 54% possession in NEROCA's favor, and that basically means that TRAU has 46%. Although it seems like it's been much more different than that. By the look of it on the eye, possession for possession's sake perhaps has been kept by TRAU, but all the attacking possession has been kept by NEROCA.
Yeah, that's very interesting. When you talk about defensive strategies in teams, you really bring that high line in the defense of the opponent, and that's the reason why we get more space behind, and that's why you get to penetrate better. And that's really good going over here in both the teams. But we need a little bit of creativity up front there. We need a bit of individual brilliance, to go 1v1, get behind the defenders, try to take a shot at goal. But that's yet to come.
Rohit almost put himself in a spot of bother. Jenish pressing him, driving through and then trying to chip the ball towards an on-rushing Dinesh Singh. Sapam showcasing that back in the day he could have been in the outfield himself.
Yeah, that's good enough. When you talk about goalkeepers good in their legs and trying to be a little skillful, it'll be very interesting to see goalkeepers really help the defense whenever it's needed to come out of his position, clear the ball, catch the ball, more confidence.
Back in the day, Henry, did you think of yourself as a striker, even though you would sit in goal? Did you ever want to showcase your skills?
Always. The striker's position is very, very glamorous. Whenever you want to have a little bit of style on you, you want to go up front, score goals, and then show your head up. But nevertheless, I was very poor in striking, but I could strike a ball from one goal to another.
So there was no use for all the short passing and dribbling. As Dinesh puts himself under pressure, rescued by Rohit. But TRAU on the attack. Morantham trying to get at the end of it. He's in the box. Gomado couldn't really control it in a shot from distance. Santosh Singh worried for a minute, and Gyan Moyan terribly unhappy.
Yeah, I think this is something that we were talking about. If you lose a little bit of concentration, and that's what was lost over here. Look at that. That tackle was not there, but shot came in, but just above the goalkeeper. Just couldn't hit the target there.
Fascinatingly enough, it seems, Henry, that we'll talk about it in a bit, because Dhana has the ball. He passes it on to Jenish, occupying the number 10 space in the hole right behind the striker. Sheetal, the captain, Sheetal Jitatom, learned his trade with the under-20 Goa team, FC Goa 2, the reserves, and then back at TRAU. It seems like Mark Harrison has now shifted to the left wing when they're in possession, and then probably starts drifting and joins in Akom Philip. Meanwhile, it's with Gomado.
Plays a little bit deep, so that he gets the ball and then move around, finds the space behind the defender, but that's not working. That's the reason why he's a little bit coming down on the left side. It'll be interesting over there if they can combine, but this time again, look at that defensive solidness. They have always been first to the ball when it came to defense, and that's very interesting, and that's something that they have to break here for NEROCA.
Yeah, Rakesh Singh there with the interception before David could capitalize. Again, just well marshaled. Thana throwing, showing the ball through to Santosh, who played in the I-League as well for NEROCA in 23-24. Played only 5 matches. Conceded a lot of goals though, 16 of them, and Such was the fate last time around in I-League 2 as well. Played 4 matches only, but couldn't really stop the leaking of goals. 7 of them. Meanwhile, Sheetaljeet. That's Rakesh Singh, who's been impressive in defense so far. But one would probably say the fact that you have to make last tackles means that you probably didn't read the gameplay in the first place. Rohit fails to read the game there, but well bailed out by his namesake Rohit.
Yeah, actually, if you look at TRAU, the way they keep their possession in the midfield and then make that long pass.
They just into the box, shot by Dhana, blocked superbly. You called it, Henry, and it happened there and then.
Yeah, they're trying to get off the lines, if you want to just get behind the midfield, it's becoming very easy for them. They have to push in a little more red shirts up there. When they come into the counter, the long ball is helping them to cover that space that is required to get into the oppositions. They're trying to push the whites behind into their own defense, and slowly and steadily they're getting the hang of the game. The possession of the ball is with them, but nevertheless they have to really try to be a little bit creative up front there. Try to have some individual skills. We've not seen somebody who can come out, dribble past defenders, get behind the defenders and make a chance at goal.
You're still waiting for that clear-cut opportunity from both sides that truly makes you get you off your seat. Meanwhile, a little jostle there between Jenish and Roger.
Yes, that was a foot too up over there. The referee surely could have removed his yellow card for that, but the impact was not so much that the referee would do that.
"25 minutes in, and slowly but surely TRAU FC also leaving an impression in this match, showcasing some attacking verve that was absent in the initial exchanges. Although one has to say, the first big chance came to them right after kickoff. Jenish towards Dhana, miscontrolled, enough time for Japes to capitalize, and that should be a foul, and that's what it is.
Rightly there, the referee pointing out, because that ball was a little bit too away. He couldn't trap that ball, didn't control that ball, and beautifully, in a jiffy, you saw the defender going up. That's the reason why he was pulled down here by Sheetal, the captain. It earned him a yellow card for that. Beautiful piece of work.
Yeah, Dhana knew when he threw caution to the wind and tried to take down this player unceremoniously that he might just receive a caution. That's exactly what happened. Meanwhile, the free kick goes directly into the hands of Sapam Singh.
He should have really checked that ball, a little bit, keeping it on the penalty area near the penalty spot could have been dangerous because there were two strikers up front there, but this ball went straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Sometimes we wonder, is that when in a free kick, do you need to put the ball diagonally behind the goalkeeper who doesn't come out and has the advantage of his hand, or should it be in the first angle? This is something, the kicker needs to get on.
Shot from distance. But very, 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 very far away from goal.
That's out of frustration, when you kick that ball away. It's more like a clearance from the defender than from the striker.
I mean, in his defense, perhaps he saw Sapam Singh off his line, but they're speculative, and then there was that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, possession back with NEROCA. Gumado playing it on to Roger. Gumado once more. Japes. Marcus Harrison again dropping into midfield, just trying to combine. Ekom Philip is now on the left wing. Gumado in a central position. Wycombe Rohit has come in from right back. Again tried to cross with his left foot and overhit it.
It's important over there. You're not in a place where you can wrap that ball around the shoes and put it behind the defender. But this way, it is easy for the goalkeeper to come out and catch if it is in the air. Otherwise, it goes out because the defense is a little bit deep inside it. There's no space there for anybody to really go and strike that ball.
You just need a little patience, perhaps. You know, sometimes, Henry, one can criticize the team for too slow a build-up, and sometimes you end up criticizing the team because they hurry up situations that needn't be hurried. Patience is also a virtue, and perhaps that was one of those occasions where patience would have borne more dividends.
Yeah, that's the reason we talk about, you keep a little more possession of the ball, you be more creative by passing that ball between two defenders, try to see the run of play. The off-ball players are very important in this tight situation where you can just read that run, put that ball inch perfect behind. There's a momentum in that, but this was not done here. They're playing direct football. You need to have a little bit creativity up front, I would say.
Meanwhile, Sheetal was almost sold out there by his teammates. Recovered very well and just in time as NEROCA wanted to pile on the pressure. That's Dhananjoy Singh. Crossfield ball. Hoping to get the run of Chinkai, the left back. And a drinks break, according to Jamal Mohammed now, as we approach the half-hour mark in this water break. Henry, as from this 30 minutes, who's impressed you the most?
Yeah, I think that defensively, TRAU has been on top over here because they have defended a lot of chances that came their way. But nevertheless, there is a lot of solid side in NEROCA who's experienced. They've got foreigners in the team, but they've not been able to combine well. They've not taken that responsibility up front there. We need a little bit more from NEROCA for being a senior partner here in this match. But TRAU has shown that they are gritty enough in the defense. They will not allow any move. Unless there's going to be a mistake, there's going to be a goal. This game is not going to change.
Takes the game by the scruff of its neck because obviously the coach has identified some chinks in the opposition's armor that they managed to exploit. I wonder if something like that happens now.
Yeah, it's important. A little bit of guidance from the coach really matters over here. Here, everybody, both the coaches would say, hold on to the ball, keep the ball in your possession, build up, play the passes, because they have the quality of passing. They have the quality of playing that 1-2 moves, getting onto the wings, but that's not happening. A little bit of patience, like you said, will help them to really keep their composure and get onto that game the way they want to.
Meanwhile, after the drinks break, it is TRAU on the attack. Dhana on the left wing now, as opposed to the right. Clatters into MD Rohit. Wins a throw.
Very interesting. This is what we want. You put the ball behind the defender, and then you need to have that skill to really get on 1-1, get through the defender. But this time the defender was right in front of him to take on that challenge.
With loyalties split in foul right now between TRAU and NEROCA. One wonders how the first goal would be treated. Would there be more cheers or jeers? Whose numbers have come out? At the Kuman Lampak Stadium. Jan Moyon has given some instructions to his team, of course, during that drinks break. Hoping it comes to fruition. Harrison struggling to keep possession. Draws the foul though.
Yeah, that's a foul over there, but nevertheless, the game has gone a little bit slow. there's more concentration on the possession of the ball. They're trying to see if they can move up with that combination of the three up front there. And Kumado, Harrison and Victor, with Roger and Kinish really getting into it. But yes, neither the wings have worked in to bring in the spectacular pass that they need, or neither the penetration has worked. It's going to be only a defensive side over here that TRAU has been a solid one. They are quick, sharp and decisive.
This is bound to be frustrating. The moment you're trying to do a set-piece routine and the referee blows the whistle because of some invariable jostling in the box that he didn't find quite legal, I wonder if they'll have the same set-piece routine again. No. Different target this time around by Rohit as David loses the ball and the counter-attack to TRAU. He needs to find the right ball, and he did the exact opposite. Napoleon Morantham was somewhere else, the ball went somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the reason we talk about, when you are in the counter-attack, the transition is very quick. You don't have too many players up front. You have to put that ball pinpoint to the legs of the forward. And this time Morantham did not get that on him. Defenders did pretty well to really snatch that ball very easily and get back into this game.
Again, the pass that asks questions in terms of whether the team will actually keep it. Luckily, it goes back to the defenders in the form of Vaikom Rohit and now Sanathoi or NEROCA. Long ball, asking Dinesh to stretch his legs, and even though he did, he couldn't reach it.
A little bit frustrating when you see the midfield really compact over there, not giving that space to really operate from. You try the long diagonal ball, but you need to have that, pinpoint ball to the player, but that's not happening here. Very easily, a defense not really in a hurry. They just keep that ball so beautifully. They're not afraid or nervy about that. Look at that, right in front of their goal. They're paying so many passes out there that shows their composure in the defense.
Janish. Napoleon Morantham. The crowd seems to be cheering that attempt, but I wonder what you think about it, Henry.
I think that there should be made. Decision making is very important when you are with the ball right in front of the goal. There were two players on the wide. He just did not want to pass that out, but try his luck to get onto that frame, which was negative.
There seems to be some trouble as Jamal Mohammed stops play. And it is Rakesh Singh in a spot of bother, clutching his head. We do hope he's all right. You can't really put the magic spray there. Just using water to pull him down.
Yes, I think but he was right enough. Referee, whenever they see head injuries, they're very cautious about it. They really blow the whistle at the right time over there. And this would have been the header, the clash of the heads that caused that.
Rakesh Singh played 16 matches last season, was a stalwart in defense for NEROCA, for TRAU rather, in I-League 2. Just saw the stars for a little bit.
Yeah, like you said, both this team have dominated the head-to-head records in the last 11 meetings. 7 wins for NEROCA, while TRAU secured only 2 victories, and 2 matches have been ended in a draw. So these teams really fight very hard when they meet each other, and always we've seen the stadium being packed. And that's the beauty of Imphal. That's the beauty of Manipur. These are the only two teams who have participated in professional league football, and they have really given India a lot of players. We've seen the under-17 World Cup also. 8 players from Manipur who participated in that. It's a breeding ground for players for all clubs in Indian football.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of them In fact, the captain of that team, the only goal scorer ever for India in a World Cup match. Both of them hail from Manipur, Jeetson Singh and Amarjeet Singh Thiam. Meanwhile, header by Raj Singh there. Amarjeet, of course, was the captain of that under-17 side. Jeetson, the goal scorer, the only goal scorer that India has ever had in the men's stage of the World Cup, even though it was an under-17 match. Meanwhile, a substitution within the first half. Napoleon Morankam goes out and Afridi comes in. I wonder what you make of that, Henry.
Yeah, I think they need a more striker up front over there. With the lone striker more in term, it would have been a very difficult task.
Cross coming in for David, cleared out by Rakesh. Jenish. Raj just clears it. Safety first. Cross coming in. Goes over everybody else into the hands of Sapam Singh, who releases it quickly towards Dhana. But great covering by Gamado. Foul called by Jamal Mohammed. Gamado on Dhana.
Yeah, that was an elbow there. I'm sure what the referee is going to take, what decision the referee is going to take. But nevertheless, he's going to get a sounding from the referee. Because that block was illegal, that's what he says. And look at that. That elbow a little bit getting onto his face, and that's the reason why he was down over there. Look at that again.
I think that's a little soft, Henry. I think that's a little soft. I think Thana got lucky there.
It's only the pain that matters, when you get a touch. But this was something that he got onto his head.
People, meanwhile, with the free kick and a chance for TRAU just cleared before Dhananjay could launch himself onto the ball, and there could be a counter. Plenty of space for Ekam Philip to run at. It is Ekam Philip. Ekam Philip. Raj Singh does enough. What a wonderful challenge there, and suddenly the game's opened up. Dhana. Afridi, who's just come on instead of Napoleon Morankam. Jenish looking for Monis. Monis cutting in. Monis with the shot. Afridi on the follow-up. TRAU on the attack, winning a corner.
What an attacking transition this has been on both sides. Very, very entertaining for the crowd today. It's going to be interesting to watch over there. How come he couldn't just get inside in the first attempt over here? Look at this ball over there. Harrison just getting inside. He just did not make his decision what to do. There were 2-3 wide shots behind him. Could not get that support that is required.
Meanwhile, a shot with the post. A shot hit the post, and NEROCA brings a sigh of relief.
It's really going to be interesting to see that again. But nevertheless, Dhananjay, the man over there, important over here. He could have just taken that ball, hit the post. Oh my God, this is something, Atish. Really what a chance for TRAU to really get on to this game.
David with the shot at the other end. What happened suddenly, Henry?
But nevertheless, that shot was crisp. The grounder. No chance the goalkeeper would have reached there.
Again, TRAU on the attack. Afridi is in the box, waiting for a cross. Overhit and how. But suddenly the game's opened up. The pace has livened.
End-to-end action over here, Atish. What a beautiful moment over here. But this time there has to be quality in that pass. He made it so well behind the defender. He had 2 red shirts up front in the box. A little bit of quality to back that ball into that penalty area. Could have made it dangerous for the defenders of NEROCA. But yes, this is game on, man. Atish, the crowd maybe is being entertained every movement over here. Time and again, the transition has been very fast. The counters has been good. A little bit of creativity is required.
David, I agree. The game's completely opened up now. Now it's fiery. I think it's just because it's the last 2 minutes, so they all want to take the lead into half-time as David rushes through. Look at the sprinting power of Dhananjay.
Yeah.
He could easily have been one of those 100-meter sprinters on the track alongside the Kuman Lampak.
Yeah, absolutely right. When it comes to that commitment, look at the way he comes inside. Dhananjay really is stalwart upside. Look at that long strides, that sweep, and getting down on both his legs, getting that ball at the right time. Super stuff here from the defenders.
It's Wycombe Rohit this time, taking the throw. It's on by Harrison Jr. Dhananjay clears. It's all 6s and 7s at this point. Risks being taken by both sides. Rohit steps in from defense. Wycombe Rohit. Cleared.
It's going to be interesting here. Either it is corner or long throw. Both of them have simply been effective.
Meanwhile, a header off target. This by Harrison.
We were talking about, how this game is going to pan out to be. We talk about derbies, but tonight, none of that matters. What matters is 90 minutes of pure footballing passion. And both the teams know each other in and out, and that's going to be a beauty of this. They know that both the teams know that the counter attacks are going to be dangerous. The defense have been beefed up on TRAU side. They have shown so much confidence, so much of composure there.
Gamado winning the ball but giving it away.
Simply wonder what's going on there, because you have 3 players up front, 3 white shirts. You need to keep the ball under your control. Try and draw the 2 strikers, both of them international strikers. They can hold on to the ball and then make a run around them. It's going to be effective if they do that.
Yeah, so far Harrison and Ekam Phillip haven't really tested the goalkeeper, Sapam Singh. 3 minutes of added time. Meanwhile, we saw the 4th official lifting the board up, and we're into that as we speak. Sheetal has passed it towards Monish. Monish with his pace. Dhana was occupying that far post position for Saran Singh's team. Suddenly, TRAU have a corner.
Super stuff from this youngster. He just speeds like a 100-meter sprinter. If you look at that ball again, you see that how he goes behind the defender. But the defender takes a short route to clear that ball out.
It turns out it wasn't a corner, it was a goal kick.
Oh.
Huh? Meanwhile, the pressing, Afridi on Rohit. Effective once more. You saw a chance last time around where it hit the post because of such situations. Sheetal with the shot. Not too far away. The high pressing of TRAU troubling NEROCA.
Yes, if you look at that again, you saw that the defenders went off for a movement over there when the ball came in. See, nobody there to really block that ball. All of a sudden, you see that shot coming from Sheetal. Just couldn't keep that in the frame. It's important for TRAU to keep the ball in the frame. The last time they did it, it hit the goalpost and came back. Otherwise, that would be 1-0 for them. And TRAU has shown they are more penetrating than NEROCA, and that's going to be something to talk about in the halftime for the coaches.
Santosh learning from his errors. A long goal kick this time around. A change in idea, change in plans for Gyan Moyon's team. I wonder what you think of playing out from the back, Henry. Are you in favor of it or not?
Yeah, it's important. You see, every time you get into a transition, you don't get through. That defense is playing a little bit deep. You get the ball back, keep the possession, stretch the ball from left to right, keep the ball with you for some time so that you get the space, allow the defense to get into a position where you can really see those gaps behind or through them. So that's going to be very interesting in the second half. If both the teams try to keep a little bit patience, like you said, there would be a little more effective football around here. It is end-to-end situation, but one creative move, one creativity up front will strike goal.
Now we're looking for that golden moment, aren't we? Keepers yet to be tested, but remember, Jenish found the post. As the referee blows for half-time, the first match here at the Kuman Lampak Stadium in Imphal, Manipur, of the 134th edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. And it is, of course, an Imphal derby between TRAU and NEROCA. But at the end of the first 45, it's 0-0 between these two teams.
Yeah, it's been interesting over here, especially when NEROCA came out with that 4-3-3, and then we saw a defensive Saran Singh's team, which went on for a 4-2-3-1. It showed that there's going to be a more defensive side in TRAU than the attacking NEROCA. NEROCA did everything well, just could not get inside and behind the defenders. Goalkeeper Sapan was good in his goal. Did a little bit of error of that back pass, but nevertheless brought off a sterling performance today.
Yeah, if you take a look at the statistics, Henry, there's not much difference between the two sides in terms of 50-50 possession. Unfortunately, when you hit the post, it's not considered a shot on target, and therefore no shots on target between both teams.
Yeah, nevertheless, 50-50 ball possession, we've seen that. But if you talk about attacking football, the shots will show you that TRAU are a little bit more attacking in this game.
Let's take a look at the highlights. It started with such fervor with that opening ceremony that captured the imagination of all those present here in this picturesque stadium, Kuman Lampak, Imphal. And as the referee blew the whistle and it was kick-off, there were certain nervy moments. Obviously, there would be, Henry, because it is Derby Day after all.
Yes, yeah, I think both the teams really brought out a very entertaining football over here. They had the chances, but the defense really stood strong, gritty up front there, getting that ball away from defenders. But they had that chance. They had 2 or 3 chances over here, but nevertheless, there was a good amount of composure in NEROCA's defense too. Didn't give them the clear chance to take a strike at the target. A little bit of tough physical work by both the teams. The referee really kept himself busy, but nevertheless, yellow card came out.
Yeah, and after that, TRAU suddenly woke up. And we say suddenly because initially it was all about NEROCA handling the proceeding, and few mistakes, few lapses in concentration, chances like this came up.
Yeah, when the chances come out, you have to head inside the frame. That's what the decision was. This was a great ball.
That,
only
this was finished once more. Surprisingly, goal kick given, and then again the pressing. Henry was so good by TRAU.
It's important over here. Every time TRAU came into that range of a 20-yarder, they took a shot at the goal, and that was very interesting to see this half go 0-0.
So there you have it, 0-0 at halftime. The first match here at Imphal in the 134th edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. Do stay and join in for the second half after this.
A land where culture inspires, sports thrive. Manipur beacons you.
Sia, get ready for freshers. Sia, help me. Itna sab kyun? Try Venus. Isn't this so smooth? Avocado soap bars in Venus Comfort Glide that glide over every curve. Way too smooth, right? Instant smoothness. No pain, no hassle.
My Lenovo AI says 2 degrees और swing हो सकता है. You can do more with your wrist.
क्या ऐसे?
Let me simulate. Push the ball with your wrist.
मैच की सबसे मुश्किल घड़ी, ये विकेट लेना ही पड़ेगा। और ये बॉल, शानदार स्विंग।
Lenovo, damn the odds.
কলম্বাস ভেঞ্চার কলোনিস্ট ফোন করছে।
এ বাবা, উনি ভাববেন আমরা ফান্ডের টাকা দিয়ে আমেরিকা ঘুরে বেড়াচ্ছি। হ্যালো মহারাজ, ফটোজ? নিশ্চয়ই স্যার, নিশ্চয়ই।
ভাই লাম্বাগুলোকে সরিয়ে দে।
ম্যাজিক ইরেজার দিয়ে ছবি থেকে অযাচিত জিনিস ব্রাশ দিয়ে মুছে ফেলুন।
আপনাকে পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছি।
ক্যানভা মন থেকে ডিজাইন পর্যন্ত।
Reach your impossible with the AI-powered Legion Pro 7i, Lenovo Legion.
রাজীব, তুই কবে এলি বিলেত থেকে?
আরে বাপ পিসি, চিনতে পেরেছো? শহরে গিয়ে চোখ অপারেশন করে এসেছো বুঝি?
শহরে যাক আমার সত্যু, আমি এখানে আমার গায়েই করিয়ে নিলাম।
এখানে?
হ্যাঁ, ওই যে সূর্য আছে না আমাদের, ও সব করে দিচ্ছে।
আরে রাজীব,
আরে বাহ ছুটকি, এটা স্কুলে শিখলি?
না, ইন্টারনেটে।
ইন্টারনেট?
হ্যাঁ, সূর্যদা আছে না?
কে বলতো এই সূর্যদা?
ওর সঙ্গে দেখা করতে চাও?
হ্যাঁ
চলো, ওই দেখো সূর্যদা।
আমরা সূর্য থেকে শুধু বিদ্যুৎই তৈরি করি না, দেশের কোণ থেকে ও কোণ পর্যন্ত খুশি ছড়াই। আদানি, আমরা করে দেখাই।
भारत के भूतपूर्व प्रधानमंत्री श्री राजीव गांधी जी की हत्या की गई है।
अभी तक किसी भी आदमी या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने सामने आके रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं ली।
वायरस के एंड में क्लॉथ फाइबर मिला, सुसाइड बॉम्बर।
हम इसे कैनेडी असैसिनेशन की तरह नहीं बनने देंगे।
A land where culture inspires, sports thrive. Manipur beacons you.
4 বছরের পরিশ্রম,
700-র বেশি পরীক্ষামূলক উড়ান।
মনে হচ্ছিল রাইট নয়, রং ব্রাদার্স।
কিন্তু শেষ পর্যন্ত প্লেনটা উড়িয়েই দিলাম।
তাহলে ভ্যাকেশন, প্রেজেন্টেশন, যদি এটা
নিজেই তৈরি হতো
এইরকম।
ম্যাজিক ডিজাইনের সাথে সেকেন্ডের মধ্যে প্রেজেন্টেশন তৈরি করে নিন।
স্যার, বিলটা নিজে নিজে পরিশোধ হবে না।
ক্যানভা মন থেকে ডিজাইন পর্যন্ত।
Sia, get ready for freshers. Sia,
Help me.
इतना सब क्यों? Try Venus. Isn't this so smooth? Avocado soap bars in Venus Comfort Glide that glide over every curve.
Way too smooth.
Right? Instant smoothness. No pain, no hassle.
রাজীব, তুই কবে এলি বিলেত থেকে?
আরে বাপ পিসি, চিনতে পেরেছো? শহরে গিয়ে চোখ অপারেশন করে এসেছো বুঝি?
শহরে যাক আমার সত্যু, আমি এখানে আমার গায়েই করিয়ে নিলাম।
এখানে?
হ্যাঁ, ওই যে সূর্য আছে না আমাদের, ও সব করে দিচ্ছে।
আরে রাজীব,
আরে বাহ ছুটকি, এটা স্কুলে শিখলি?
না, ইন্টারনেটে।
ইন্টারনেট?
হ্যাঁ, সূর্যদা আছে না?
কে বলতো এই সূর্যদা?
ওর সঙ্গে দেখা করতে চাও?
হ্যাঁ
চলো, ওই দেখো সূর্যদা।
আমরা সূর্য থেকে শুধু বিদ্যুৎই তৈরি করি না, দেশের কোণ থেকে ও কোণ পর্যন্ত খুশি ছড়াই। আদানি, আমরা করে দেখাই।
My Lenovo AI says 2 degrees और swing हो सकता है. You can do more with your wrist.
क्या ऐसे?
Let me simulate. Push the ball with your wrist.
मैच की सबसे मुश्किल घड़ी, ये विकेट लेना ही पड़ेगा। और ये बॉल, शानदार स्विंग।
Lenovo, damn the odds.
Reach your impossible with the AI-powered Legion Pro 7i, Lenovo Legion.
Now starts to see some momentum and control. That's incredible.
लगभग 160 विधायक मुख्यमंत्री श्री आर के विरुद्ध असहयोग आंदोलन की घोषणा कर चुके हैं।
तुम्हें दोस्त समझूं या फिर विरोधी?
मैं इस चक्रव्यूह से निकल पाऊंगा?
दोस्त की हैसियत से एक बात कहूं, युद्धम नीधर्मम।
A land where culture inspires, sports thrive. Manipur beacons you.
My Lenovo AI says 2 degrees और swing हो सकता है. You can do more with your wrist.
क्या ऐसे?
Let me simulate. Push the ball with your wrist.
मैच की सबसे मुश्किल घड़ी, ये विकेट लेना ही पड़ेगा। और ये बॉल, शानदार स्विंग।
Lenovo, damn the odds.
Sia, get ready for freshers. Sia, help me. इतना सब क्यों? Try Venus. Isn't this so smooth? Avocado soap bars in Venus Comfort Glide that glide over every curve. Way too smooth, right? Instant smoothness. No pain, no hassle.
4 বছরের পরিশ্রম,
700-র বেশি পরীক্ষামূলক উড়ান।
মনে হচ্ছিল রাইট নয়, রং ব্রাদার্স।
কিন্তু শেষ পর্যন্ত প্লেনটা উড়িয়েই দিলাম।
তাহলে ভ্যাকেশন?
প্রেজেন্টেশন। যদি এটা
নিজেই তৈরি হতো
এইরকম
ম্যাজিক ডিজাইনের সাথে সেকেন্ডের মধ্যে প্রেজেন্টেশন তৈরি করে নিন।
স্যার, বিলটা নিজে নিজে পরিশোধ হবে না।
ক্যানভা মন থেকে ডিজাইন পর্যন্ত।
পছে একই আছে। রাজীব, তুই কবে এলি বিলেত থেকে?
আরে বাপ, পিসি চিনতে পেরেছো? শহরে গিয়ে চোখ অপারেশন করে এসেছো বুঝি?
শহরে যাক আমার সত্তু, আমি এখানে আমার গায়েই করিয়ে নিলাম।
এখানে?
হ্যাঁ, ওই যে সূর্য আছে না আমাদের, ও সব করে দিচ্ছে।
আরে রাজীব!
আরে বাহ, ছুটকি, এটা স্কুলে শিখলি?
না, ইন্টারনেটে।
ইন্টারনেট?
হ্যাঁ, সূর্যদা আছে না?
কে বলতো এই সূর্যদা?
ওর সঙ্গে দেখা করতে চাও?
হ্যাঁ।
চলো, ওই দেখো সূর্যদা।
আমরা সূর্য থেকে শুধু বিদ্যুৎই তৈরি করি না, দেশের কোণ থেকে ও কোণ পর্যন্ত খুশি ছড়াই। আদানি, আমরা করে দেখাই।
Reach your impossible with the AI-powered Legion Pro 7i, Lenovo Legion.
Now starts to see some momentum and control. That's incredible.
वन भूमि पर बिना इजाजत की बनी झोपड़ियों को पुलिस तोड़ने जा रही है।
हम लोगों को जमीन चाहिए।
Intelligence report have stated that the strike is supported by the Maoist groups.
बॉडी में से जो बुलेट हमें मिली है इस राइफल से फायर हुई है। मेरी राइफल है। गुनहगार सिर्फ मैं नहीं हूं सर।
Welcome back to the Kamal Lampak Stadium in Imphal, where we are having the Imphal Derby. TRAU is taking on NEROCA, and it's absolutely chock-a-block here at this particular stadium. The Honourable Governor of Manipur is here, Sri Ajay Kumar Bhalla, flanked by the Chief of Army Staff, General Upendra Dwivedi, and on the right is the Honourable Chief Justice, Manipur High Court. And I am Pallab Basamalik welcoming you for the second 45 minutes because due to some technical issues, we have just lost Atesh Thakral apologies sincerely for that. And I'm joined by one of the great analysts of the game, the former India international, Henry Menezes. We had some moments of brilliance in the first 45. Henry.
Yeah, it was a dazzling first half. We would say everybody expected some entertainment out over here, and both the teams showed their will to attack, and that's the reason why this game went on to get more support from the fans. The tactical advantage was that TRAU played a little bit of defensive. They were solid, gritty, and really well fought in that defense, not giving that space required for Harrison, Victor, or David. It was important to understand that Gomad Doe, who was in the midfield trying to master that midfield, could not get that space required because he was nullified by Loya and Sheetal, Moniz, and Dhana. They really fought themselves very hard. The only chance that TRAU got was hit on the bar, and that was something that the entire stadium stood up to cheer over there. And looking forward is that this game, it needs a goal to open up, and that will be brilliant.
Now again, Henry, you talked about the technical part of the game. We had some wonderful moments, some anxious moments, but talk about the atmosphere here. This beautiful game comes back to this beautiful state of Manipur, and after 2022. The International Durand Cup is back here in Manipur, the footballing hub of India.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point over here, because we talk about people coming to football, but this Durand Cup has taken football to the people with 5 or 6 locations, and it could be interesting how these two teams, whenever they play, the stadium is full.
Well, there's a change for the NEROCA. We have, again, Sapava coming in place of David. David, one was sort of a lookalike of Vipin Singh. And we are live here underway. The second half, under the red shirts, the TRAU would be attacking from the left to the right of your screen, and defending the other part would be the NEROCA. And the crowd, as usual, so vibrant. Early days in the second half. The next 15 would be very, very important, Henry.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, when we talk about derby matches, especially between these two teams, whatever happened in the past is left alone. And both the coaches know these teams in and out, and this makes it very difficult, you know, for the game to go about. And we've seen over here that they have 3 strikers up front, Harrison, Victor, and a little bit behind you have Jackson, Gomada. But they have not clicked in the first half. It will be very interesting to see that combination, that head to come on behind the ball to strike into the goal.
So again, the crowd so very expectant. This is the man, Saran Singh, who's played in Mount Bagan, Churchill Brothers. Deep long throw, headed out. And again off the ricochet. That was a chance, and lying so very close there was taking so much of time, Jackson. And quickly back on the counter. TRAU. They're bringing men forward. Flag is up.
Yeah, very good transition. Once again, you know, whenever TRAU gets that ball, they really quickly move up front over there. And this time going on to the wings, but nevertheless couldn't keep themselves into the onside position. Referee picks up the offside.
The NEROCA trying to organize themselves. Jackson, he's some sort of playing a bit of a pivot role there in the midfield, but they need to link up well. A quick transition to the left part. That channel is very, very active. Dhana at times combining well with Chinkai. Cross into the area, lovely header. Not too far away.
Yeah, beautiful piece of work over here, Balabda. You see the end-to-end action over there. Nobody really keeping the possession of the ball. They just want to finish the game in the opponent's half and then come back into defending the in own half. They have to be a little patient, a little bit composure is required in that midfield to hold on to the ball and allow the players to be in possession to receive it.
Rakesh and Dhananjay have to be very careful, the central pair. Here again, a little more weight on that pass.
Yeah, there's a lot of space behind the defender. That's the reason why they try to put, because they know that the players have got really good skill and speed up front. They can really dart in and go behind the defender, but that's not happening over here. The passes are not inch perfect. They need to really check on the passes, because they have the free space up behind the defenders, but it is important that you check your ball to really keep it on the feet of the opponent, of the striker.
Going all by himself, alone. He's working his way through, just coming. He's called Afridi. He plays football.
Goal here to really calm the nerves of the team. Both the teams are playing under pressure here. The crowd really backing both the teams whenever they get into the attack. And what a fantastic atmosphere, really very electrifying. It's not very easy for players to get up and play in such huge crowds where the responsibility is too high.
Moving from the left. Good cross and teasing. But not too bothered. Santosh. Movement. Sheps is coming in. I'm just amazed at the work rate of Ganesh, the skipper of NEROCA. Is covering every part of the field. It's just been wonderful so far. Trying to chest trap that and on the turn.
There's a bit of frustration shown out over here in the midfield by that experienced Gomado who's been marshalling that midfield. He has to keep himself very cool because he's got 2 or 3 players up front over there. The white shirts moving on the wide, going into the center. He needs to play that ball. He needs to play the ball for the players to hold on, and the player around him can really make that moves to receive that 1-2 touch that is required. That's not happening over here. So very ambitious shots at goal.
They need to really link up well. Both the sides. A lot of loose balls being played, and they're trying to make a move through the middle. The wings not being that much explode. Here's Kamado setting it up. Space there for Harrison. Can it lay off? He's coming central. Left footer! That could have got in Sonia. Can't believe it. Near to goodness. How could he miss it from that? Just didn't get that contact, Harrison, the Liberian.
I was just wondering whether that was a shot at the goal or the pass to the opponent, to the far end. But this time, I thought that could have curled on the far end. But what a chance that was. Right in front. Kinesh really not been able to really keep his eye on the ball. The focus was not good enough. This could have been resulting into a really lead for them. What a chance going up begging.
When would you score, Mark Harrison Jr.? He's coming from Liberia. We have seen in the past a lot of famed Liberians in the Indian circuit. There's Afridi. Still no goal here. Crowd expecting, because that's the salt. That's how the game becomes much more testier, Henry.
Yes, of course. There's some wonderful play out over here, especially when you talk about attacking on each other. Very interesting. TRAU really puts in a lot of red men behind the ball whenever it comes on to the transition from NEROCA. They really can be very composure, and this is how that first chance that came in. And look at that. He comes in very beautifully, tried to take that ball, and the number 28 simply just could not keep that ball in. This could have been dangerous. Beautiful pass, beautiful build-up. But Jabez, that was at the end of that ball, couldn't keep himself under control to just tap that ball in.
And losing position again. Jabez working from the left. He knows that he was absolutely close, just inches away from scoring. Transition. This transition speed is good for the Red Pythons, as they call it, the Tedham Road Athletic Union.
Yeah, it's important over here that Gomado, who's been marshalling this midfield, has to be stopped over there. And this time done by Sheetal and nobody else. Just comes in, look at that, the way he brings him down. He knows that if he allows him up front, that could have been a dangerous transition there.
The challenge was clumsy.
Yeah, but he had to be stopped, Palabda, because he's a dangerous man. He's got a good eye for the ball to be put on the wide or get it in the middle for Harrison or Victor.
This is the side. They were in the same group, Group C, 2022 Indian Oil Durand Cup. Long ball in. Dhananjay is good. He shows some great marksmanship in the first half. Little slow build up that. Sanathoi onto Ganesh. Back again. Harrison trying to wriggle his way past. But again, the Tedham Road Athletic Union defenders, they're organizing themselves well. Bit of funneling though.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, they crowd that defense in the middle so beautifully. Just don't give that space that is required for the strikers, though they have possession of the ball. And that's the beauty of TRAU. You know, they have been resilient. They have been gritty behind that. They have reached to the ball. The commitment is really very high from the players, and that's very interesting to watch.
Again, coming into a wide area on the left. Lovely little hill pass. They build up, building well. Chinkai. The two red shirts waiting in the middle. Lawyer, can he go from the middle? Oh, he hits the referee instant.
Very interesting situation over here. What happens when the ball hits the referee? He calls in for a drop ball. And the advantage to TRAU here.
Now the man just in vision is Saran Singh, the defender. Could play the role for midfielder as well. Won 2 I-Leagues, 2008, 9 and 2012-13. He won 3 Durand Cups. Yeah, Saran Singh. And Federation Cup once, IFA Shield once, Goa Professional League as well. So he knows what the podium finish means. Good bit of covering, Ken. Dhananjay, that lovely tuft of hair.
Simply beautiful from the defenders. Really no issue there to really control that ball, give it back to his goalkeeper with so much composure. And that's the highlight of the defense of TRAU team. It'll be nice to watch that, how many more minutes they can keep that ball away from NEROCA, especially against Harrison, Victor Ekong, Philip and Jackson Gomado. It'll be nice to watch them, you know, to keep that on for 90 minutes. And every time they get into a counter-attack, they are frightening the opponent.
Build up again. Space for turn. Afridi. Options from the left channel. That is a little deflected away. Waiting for the turn again. Monish. That is brilliant! Absolutely superb! Raj, how could he finish that? Did he go for a cross? Did he go for a jugular? But that was a sucker punch, trust me. TRAU are ahead with that wonder strike, magnificent from Raj.
There's an eruption over here in the stadium after this goal, and it's very interesting when we're talking about you need some quality from the wings, and this is the man, Raj Singh. He just comes out from nowhere, from the defensive area, gets the back pass from Monish, and look at that curler. Referee, the goalkeeper was totally amused with that ball. He thought that the ball is going to come up front there, makes a move there, but the little gap between him and the goalpost sneaks that ball in so beautifully. What a fantastic goal. What a lovely gift for them in this game to go up 1-0 against the mighty NEROCA.
And here's how the most Manipuri players do show their respect. Raj, and once again, movement from the right. Could they get the second? They're pressing so very hard. And again, as I mentioned before, that Saran Singh could be such an inspiration for these young players. But Henry, you mustn't have missed. There was a little wobble in that particular shot from Raj. And again, you being one of the greatest goalkeepers of your time, you must be knowing that little bit of this vertical spin do deceive the keepers.
Absolutely. Because here we did not know whether Raj Singh was trying to cut that ball in or hit at the goal. I think the ball really did not intend to get inside, but it just baffled the goalkeeper. There's nothing I can say about that. This is just a mistaken goal from the winger, but nevertheless, getting inside the goal is very important.
Again, here they come from the right. Options here. They're working well, Monish. The heel pass gets in moment. They're throwing bodies forward. Shital, cross again. And this time, it had to be a very timely jump by Santosh.
Yeah, time and again, we were talking about them growing onto the wings. That is the only way that they can cut off the defenders and put the goalkeeper under pressure, and rightly so. They have been doing that time and again and really harassing that defense. All of a sudden, after the half-time, always they were trying to penetrate from the middle. Suddenly, they've gone on to the wings. They're wrapping that ball beautifully. The quality of balls coming inside also has been grown. Raj Singh's goal has been apart from everything. Baffled the goalkeeper, baffled the defenders, sneaked in that little space that the goalkeeper gave him.
Must have been some comforting words from Saran Singh to get the best out of his young students. The corner kick. Chinke is becoming so very important. Lovely cut back. Doesn't get it perfect there. And sudden there's a bit of a offensive overload by the Tidim Lod Athletic Union. So a couple of changes coming up now. Ekon Philip is out and Non-Kamba comes in. And again, Kinesh, the skipper makes room here for Sana. Interesting.
That's important over here, Malabda, when your strikers are not performing, you need to bring in a little bit of change. And Victor Ekon Phillips has been replaced by Nongamba. It'll be interesting to see bringing in a little bit more speed into that striking zone that they were lacking.
Again, a lovely teasing ball in, and that was dipping. But again, perfectly done by Sapam. Kept eyes on the flight.
Great collection from the goalkeeper. Really keeps his composure so beautiful. He really becomes very tall when it comes to collecting the ball in the air. Snatches it away from the striker.
Now could be some reactions from NEROCA. They're trying to throw bodies forward. This is a great ball in. A touch could have been absolutely crucial, but such a timely intervention. A bit of a block there.
Yeah, good possession, good aggression, getting into that transition beautifully. Good build-up also. but that touch was not good enough. Kept the ball away from his body to keep it under control. But nevertheless, that was a good chance over there. He brings that ball beautifully with his chest down, but crowded well by the defenders. And that's the highlight of the TRAU team. They have been really superb in that defense. They've been solid, I would say.
Just as a glimpse of the NEROCA coach, Kian Moyon, one who's regarded as one of the great think tanks. He's an AFC A license holder. He's an AFC instructor as well for the coaches. And he has been retained this season.
Yeah, I think it's very important, after Khalid Jamil being one of the contenders for national team coach, the emphasis on Indian coaches have become a little bit noticeable. And that's important, like Saran coach and Nan Mohan. They have both rose from the ranks and got into a little bit worried over here that his team has got that experience, his team has got that power, but they've not been able to deliver over there, especially when we're talking about Harrison and Victor, who just couldn't hold that ball in front of that defense of TRAU.
Again, a bit of pressure there. Moving in is Harrison, cross from the left. Always Japesh trying to move some little movements there. But they're bringing a body forward. Good little 1-2 played. Roger. They have to have somebody who can hold up play. Bit of link up. Dhananjay winning that second ball. Japesh. And that's to the side wall of the net. Again, Henry, it's important that they need to have somebody who can hold up the play between the lines, because there had not been many line-breaking passes from NEROCA.
Right, you had the likes of Harrison, and Victor over there up front. They can really hold on to the ball, but now Nongamba also is up front over there. They can really hold on to the ball, allow his midfielders to come up and around him, but that's not happening. That's a little bit surprising over. That's the reason why the coach has brought in a change over there. Two of them, instead of Kanish Chana, is a little bit attacking midfielder. It'll be interesting to watch what happens next.
Again on the counter move there. Moving in is Dhana. Better link up by the TRAU players.
Yeah,
the Reds.
You're one goal up, it brings a lot of confidence to hold on to the ball, keep that possession, get the ball back. It's not very important that you go up every time, only if you have that space behind the defenders or on the wide, you need to just keep your composure, pass the ball around, and then move into spaces that is required. A little bit more confidence by the TRAU team. They've shown a little bit of maturity in their attack.
And again, it's so sweet. It's music to the ear. That sound of the goal, the supporters all rooting for you. The entire aura changes.
It's going to be a physical battle. It's not going to be easy to get space to control the ball and move around. These situations are going to come. The referee is going to stop games. And this time Monesh brought down there. Look at that. That is the physical battle we talk about football, Lucky. Nothing wrong with the injury.
Chinke. The swipe flank is started from the left. He's moved to the right for that set piece. Losing possession, NEROCA. They started with 3 foreign players, this NEROCA. And TRAU relying on their homegrown talents.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Manipur football, When you talk about breeding football players, Manipur becomes the hub.
Gomado. A little far off there. And Gomado has one who has been kept trying. He's the one who is trying to link up there. And here going down is Harrison, the Liberian.
Yeah. This is the humidity that shows up over here. We had a water break in the first half because of that. And this we might see for quite some time now. Players really cramping up. Oh, there is a call for a change there. He's done 3 changes up to now.
Again, the support staff has to assess the physio. This call for a bit of check. Could be the left knee is in a bit of a problem. And could be also the hamstrings as well. Yep.
But it's bound to happen, you know. We just wonder how foreign players are more fitter than Indian players. This type of cramps really bring out a question mark on that. His work rate has been very good in the first half and the second half. A lot of pressure on him. But this entire game has turned around after this goal that happened over here. Raj's passes, we thought it was going to be wrapped around in that small box, but this ball goes straight. And in that narrow angle, goalkeeper could not do anything. And look at the joy. Look at that eruption into the stadium. Respect for the coach. Brilliant piece of work here.
This is what it's all about. You bow down to the man, your mentor. It's wonderful. And there's a young boy, still the learning curve.
You're absolutely right, you know. When players are pitted in, they get the chance of their life, especially in Manipur. You know, if a player is playing football, he's a star over there in his village, in his district, in his state. So many players of Manipur going to go for the Santosh Trophy, for the junior national, and this is a clash over there. A little bit outstretched hand, and the referee points out a little bit physical this game is going to be, because both of them are trying to go to stop or to attack. And these kind of situations are going to come up. A little bit worried man there.
Yes, Can Mohan has to bring everything up his sleeves. He is, of course, a good tactician. A bit of an injury problem again here. Sheetal has been working well, and Chapesh makes room for Lex. He's coming. And last time around 2022, both the sides were in the same group here in Kamal Lampak, Group C. NEROCA finished 4th with 4 points from the 4 games. Just 1 win, 1 draw, and they lost 2. Not a good sign here. Sheetal being stretchered off.
Yeah, I hope everything is all right with him, and he will join us back very quickly. Sometimes it is a little bit of good thing, you know, when you take such a long time for injured players, you know, players get a breather there to get back into the game, to save their energy a little bit.
And as I was mentioning, Group C 2022 International Durand Cup, TRAU finished at the bottom of the Group C with just 1 win, and they lost 3 games. So just 3 points from the 4 games they played. The group toppers being Hyderabad FC and Chennai FC, both the Indian Super League sides, and Army Red just finishing out of the playoff zone.
Yep, well, after that goal, you know, see the confidence, see the composure of the team. They're finding that space behind the defenders on the wings at their will.
They're throwing so many bodies forward, and Saran Singh knows that insurance goal here would certainly can seal the deal.
Yeah, he's unlocked that trick, you know. He knows that if he goes from the wing, he's going to make it more dangerous. And that's a card for Dhanachandra. Yes, he's been given a red card there.
Oh my goodness. You are leading. And again, double yellow there for Dhanachandra Motum. And this young, poor guy has to walk off. So down to 10 men. It's all drama here at the Kamal Lampak, Henry.
Yeah, I think this is the time now. You have to keep your composure right, you know. You have to be very patient enough here, even if with your mentality on the ground. It's very important you keep 11 players on the ground. But it's very unfortunate when they are leading 1-0, a fracture comes in. 2 yellow cards. And this is how that incident came in. Really went on. Look at that. He's pushed from behind. Straight into the back.
Here comes TRAU. Not deterred by that, but this is so much of weight on that. Can he keep it in play? Still alive.
Could have checked that ball over there. Now what for this man, Saran? He will have to pull back one striker to really keep his defense and midfield gaps really tightened. He'll take a little bit of backseat, but he's got the fire in the players that are there. Look at the way they're on, and Monish, Dhanachandra now out, Sheetal Loya. Sheetal also a bit injured. A lot of problems coming up his way.
Well, could be the humidity because it's been pretty hot out here and in fall.
Yeah. We were just talking about that. Harrison getting those cramps. And now another player down there.
But already TRAU down to 10 men.
Yeah.
It's going to be important because now Saranting, he's so experienced. He has to maybe change the shape and the formation of these 10 players left on the park.
Yeah. I think Sheetal getting that hit previously to slow down the game over there, and this is the water break that comes in. Another chance for coaches to really guide the team, to give them a little bit of notice as to how they have to play, how they have to go about.
Yes, of course, this is the real time to put your thinking hats on. And that was the moment. What a great setup there from Monish and Raj. Could you believe it? What a perfect connection that. There was a bit of wobble, but again, it just grazed the crosspiece, and Henry, no chance for the keeper to reach that.
Yeah, I think that was very important, and this is how he gets that double yellow there for elbowing in the back. The referee really close to that incident just makes his decision to give out the red card. And now it's about tactics. It's about the coaching license we talk about. For the coaches to bring in a different formation, he will put just one man up front there. Afridi will be the man up front.
But again, we've seen some of the greatest sides down to 10 men, to 9 men. But again, turn it over, win the matches, so they can do it.
Yes, all eyes will be on the number 7 of NEROCA. Bangamba, number 7. He will be the man up front to deliver. He needs to have a good pair with Harrison, Mark Harrison. You'll have Sana, Roger and Gomado to really combine with him to neutralize this damage that happened in the first half.
Again, bit of pressure there. Some bit of acceleration. Will the scoreline change? Raj at the 58th minute wonder strike has put the Red Pythons ahead.
Yeah, very important over here how they keep their composure. It's important for the goalkeeper to communicate well over here. And this time, it was a little bit of diciness over there. He couldn't clear that ball. Hits and ricochets from the striker, getting out for a corner advantage. TRAU. That's the captain. He's been leading by example over there.
So the crucial final 15 minutes, the last quarter, will be some moments of magic, will be some moments of drama as well. Very poor, low at the near post.
Yeah, sometimes you wonder, when you have an experienced player like Sheetal, he needs to put that ball away from the goalkeeper. He's got 4 or 5 red shirts up front there. Somebody would challenge that ball, but this time, a very poor pass.
Now, had you been at the gaffer's seat for NEROCA, Henry, we'll talk about this. what would be your advice to the players in white? What would you tell them? To throw bodies forward, to go all out?
Well, it's very important over here for the coach to keep his tactics right. You know, you have the possession of the ball, keep the possession of the ball. You'll find those gaps. You'll find the space behind the defenders. But that's exactly not happening over there.
Again, Saran Singh, the instruction is very, very clear. Keep on attacking, because at times it is cliche, though it's always very safe that keep attacking. That's the best way of defense.
Yes.
That was a bit of a stray ball coming all the way and stealing seconds. You must be knowing this art, Henry, better than anybody else.
But football is going to change very quickly. You know, a goalkeeper is going to get only 8 seconds to keep the ball in his hand in the near future, and all this dramatic wastage of time is going to be curtailed by the referee. It's going to be interesting. You know, you have to have something in mind to just while away the time. This is one of it.
Yes, of course. FIFA trying to cut down on the theatrics. 8 seconds, that's all you have to play for.
Yeah, in the second half, we've not seen Mohan's team really surging forward in a constructive way. They've not been creative. They've not been able to hold the ball in the midfield and create those chances up front. They have the likes of Gomado in front, Rogers, their son has come now. You know, you have Nongamba who can come back and hold on to the ball, but they have not been able to. They've been a little bit in a hurry. You have to keep your composure, keep the ball with you. You'll find your gaps.
Lex, this is the man that's just coming through the middle again, working it. Roger is very hard working. Good cross in. The first touch not so good, was trying to chest grab that. And they were appealing for handball, but Dhananjay puts it out of harm's way. Oh dear. Lex again. But for whom? Near to goodness. They have to be focused, the NEROCAs.
That was one great ball coming inside the box between the two defenders, and beautifully Harrison just tests the ball down. I don't know why the hell did he put his hand up. He should have concentrated on that ball. He had the ball under control. Just put that ball, handball. Yes, of course, it was a handball, but nevertheless he had a chance over there. So quickly he was brought down over there. Look at the number of red shirts covering him up. Yes, that ball, but that was in the natural position. His hand was in the natural position. That's the reason why the referee must have opted out of whistling.
Again, good bit of defending, but the TRAU players keep on attacking. Saran very agitated. NEROCA trying to come back into the game.
Very loss of ideas over here from NEROCA. And this is one too many on the field like this. This is a show of strength over here. Look at that. Even the ball, the commitment is so high between the two defender and the striker. Look at that. Full body power over there. Just stood strong. The defender just didn't give him that chance to get inside and make it dangerous. Beautiful piece of defending.
There might be some little twisting of the knee because the stretcher being called. Not a good sight for the TRAU. They're leading, but they're down to 10 men. And a very crucial player is being carried off the park. There's Rakesh with that challenge.
He's been a tough defender that really combined pretty well with Dhananjay. And that was great to see. They work very hard. The work rate is excellent over here from TRAU. The coach would be really glad to see all the youngsters and the experienced local players really getting into and committing themselves with a lot of responsibility.
We can see Arun Jack waiting on the flank and should be coming in for Roger. one who's performed his duty well. A change here again for the Trim Road. Bijesh comes in. As you mentioned quite rightly, that Dhananjay had a wonderful partnership with Rakesh, the two central defenders. So again, now it's to be seen. Monish he goes out and Bijesh comes in.
They have to strengthen their defense, because they can't take any chance over there. They're leading up front 1-0. And we have just 8 to 10 minutes.
Again, Akash is coming. So a bit of a tactical switch. Henry trying to reinforce the defensive part, the band. It's just 7 minutes to play for, and could be some more injury time because there's been a lot of stoppages in the second half.
Nevertheless, but this entertainment was good enough for the fans who have come in large numbers every moment. It's not that both the teams tried tactfully to defend each other, but they went into attack time and again in good intervals, making it so interesting, for the fans too.
And again, it always had to be cagey. Intriguing battle between the two empowered giants, TRAU and NEROCA. So much of history behind them. They've been in the top tier of the Indian football.
Yeah.
But languishing at the moment in the middle tier. Lex. Options there. Arun Jack was moving into the free zone, the pocket of space being created. Again, the Reds down to 10 men, headed out. TRAU defending. But still it's alive. Lex into the area. Oh, that was a lovely ball sent in. But what a way to defend. Akash is just coming.
Beautiful piece of work from the defense. Once again, reading that ball pretty well there. Nevertheless, look at that. There was a good chance over there. Rips the ball in beautifully over there. But unfortunately, nobody on the first bar. And then the number 17, Akash, just puts that ball out to safety. Once again, defense really going up.
Chance there. That was low, but the elevation was good. But somewhat defended. TRAU tried to bring the ball back out of their own zone, but now the Whites pressing very hard. Option there. Nanganda. On to the newcomer, Arun Jack. Arun Jack, the first contact. They're bringing more men forward. And again, a Akash chance for a header. That was going in. And what a brilliant reflex save that. Incredible. Keeps it alive. Sapam. Take a ball. That was absolutely going towards the far post. And great save that, Sapam. The scoreline could have changed. And he keeps it alive. Still they're leading. Just 4 regulation minutes left for Trim Road Athletic Union. Once again, that cross coming in. Bit too heavy touch on that. So well defended. The poise of Saran Singh. Such lovely game organization. And that was once again a moment of brilliance from Sapam.
Yeah, if you look at that shot coming in, Sapam really, the reflexes was superb over that when he made that save. It's one of the world-class save, I would say, because it's not very easy to goalkeepers to go back and bring that ball out.
where culture inspires, sports thrive. Manipur beacons you.
Because when the goalkeeper plays with a lot of confidence, the defense also gets a lot of composure in their formation, and that's the reason why the team gets on a high. With a lot of stoppages over here, it's going to be nice to watch, but this game is going to go beyond extra time.
And again, Dhananjay makes room, and he has played his part. Dhananjay had been brilliant in the heart of the defense of TRAU. And again, the new man coming in here would be Napoleon Matei.
Interesting over here. We're talking about wasting of time, but this time it was very important over here for Durand to take his decision whether he should make the change immediately, and that's exactly is going to be the point that we can talk about, is how fast decision the coaches make sometimes, because his team is one man down. He didn't want his team to go two men down and take a lot of chances.
Again, bit of a high press. So much of overload there from the NEROCA. They need a point desperately here. But one very interesting point, Henry. Two of the central defenders of TRAU are out. Dhananjay and Rakesh.
Yes, but Napoleon and Rakesh, we saw that, how beautifully they responded to the attack from NEROCA. It's like put in any dice in the game and they will perform, and that's exactly what Durand has got. A team full of talent.
Trying that. A little too optimistic again. Sanatori.
It's nice to see so many bodies up front there. Sanadai from the defense getting up front from his line to take a crack at the goal, but unfortunately they've not been able to really hold on to the midfield. The midfield has failed, and for failing that, they could not really hold on to that. They could not find the space. They could not use the wings. They've been blocked from all sides. And then this goalkeeper makes a spectacular save.
8 additional minutes. So nearly 8 minutes of drama again added on to this lovely Kaman Lampak Stadium. And not a single spectator, I can guarantee, has left their seat, Henry.
Yep. It's an electrifying moment over here. I would love to play on this game, on this ground, you know. It's so beautiful, so charging. And once again, we're seeing injuries coming in. I don't know, is it because of his wrong foot or an extended? Yes. He exactly knew that time that he's got that pull. I'm sure it's an adductor muscle.
Well, that is adductor. Because I work on that. And any adductor injury, serious, can put you out of action for at least 6 weeks. So hopefully that shouldn't be the case, and Sapam should fight back, because he is the man who's kept Tidim Road Athletic Union alive.
Right. Every player is an actor on the ground.
And that again, a cross directed. It's too close to Sapam. A little headway for Harrison.
What a fantastic the wrap. The quality in that pass was not good enough. Straight goes to the goalkeeper. What we need is, there are two players up front over there. You have Nangamba, and you have the players coming in from behind, Sana and Roger. Nevertheless, the ball straight goes on to the goalkeeper. And he's been heroic today. He's read every ball perfectly well.
That was a second ball, a ricochet again from Sapam. And pouncing on that was the substitute Arun Jack. And failed to get that contact. But Sapam, body in the line. Brilliant work.
It's a great time, you know, when you know that two defenders were out of TRAU and new defenders are coming. The ball has been penetrated from the center to really rattle that defense, which is not combined pretty well. But look at that header, comes in inch perfect, and Sapan could not really judge that ball. Bounce ricochets from them, but the second attempt he was brilliant enough to keep himself there. Great header, the back header, I would say, Vallabhji.
Well, it's all happening here. And as you rightly mentioned, this is a cauldron you would have loved to play. You have to roll back your years, Henry.
Yes, of course. I think earlier Durand Cup was only happening in Delhi, and everybody used to go there. But today it's all around the country, and that is beautiful. We talk about football going to these people. Look at the inspiration from the players, from the crowds, from the fans. Everybody turns around to support their own team, and beautifully done here from Sapan. He just doesn't go to catch that ball, waste time. Nobody there to really come forward. The crowd cheers him from behind. All around, they want TRAU to do the upset after a long time.
Yes, a hiatus of 2 years. 2022 was the last time Indian Oil Durand Cup was held here. And as you rightly mentioned, the brilliant cup, the legacy of 137 years, travels to this part of the country. Well, it's beautiful all over, but the East is much more. Lex just rolls that ball on. Arun Jack, such great defending, lovely positioning, Henry.
Brilliant piece of work once again, when you talk about commitment, these defenders, Afridi, who was in the striking position, falls back for his team and just dishes that out on safety. When they had so much space on the left to wrap that ball inside. There's not quality in the penetration right now. We've seen that they have been struggling to get inside and behind the defenders. TRAU has been the best defender till forward. 94 minutes into the game, but they've not faltered.
Janish had gone down. The referee says play on because there had been so many stoppages. But one thing is absolutely evident. The Reds throwing everything possible. The body in the line. They're playing for their life, maybe. Looking for a wonderful victory in this derby.
Truly to be called the Red Pythons. Dangerous, snappy, very sublime. The passing was good, their possession was good, they're moving around. The goalkeeping was good. He brought in that beautiful save. That would have been the turning point. If at all that goal would have gone in, I think NEROCA would have sealed this match.
And again, this Group F is going to be very, very intriguing. You have wonderful I-League side, Real Kashmir under Ishfaq Ahmed. You have the Indian Navy, and as you know that the Navy men, they do so very well, so organized. We'll talk about that. A little pressure from NEROCA. And there's a long throw coming in. The perfect elevation, chance for a side header. Arun Jack couldn't generate the power.
Yes, Wycombe's throw was inch perfect inside, troubling the defenders, but nobody there to really be on the receiving end to pass the ball, to trap that ball, to shoot that ball. Easily once again the defense gets over the attack.
And look at that again, and lovely cross sent in, and Darcy equalizer. They were looking for NEROCA. They needed a moment of inspiration. Arun Jack, a super sub. And he celebrates, and he does it in style. It's all Stephen Evan here at the Common Lumpak Stadium. And what a great build-up. They showed the patience, they showed the resilience, and NEROCA back into the game. The super sub, Arun Jack, has done the magic.
Fantastic display here. Once again, the build-up was good enough. They put the ball in the right position, and the right person at the right place just headed that ball. Arun Jackie, simply superb over here. The super sub, we would call him. He comes inside and does what his team requires. And this is how the ball comes in. The whack was good enough. The header straight to the goalkeeper. But look at that interception from that Arun Jack. He just cuts off inside, not in the offside position because the defender kept him on. Close range, no chance for the goalkeeper whatsoever. Fantastic 1-1 here at this electrifying stadium.
Well, remember the name. He is called Kabrabam Arun Kumar Singh. Arun Jack to many. At the 7th additional minute in the final half. Near to goodness, he has done something which is impossible. So it's all Stephen Neum here. Again, that goes to Sapam, who keeps an eye on the ball. NEROCA 1, TRAU 1. And what better start again? This has been a resurrection time here at the Common Lumpak Stadium in Imphal, because the 134th edition of the Indian Durand Cup, which is powered by Coal India and SBI and is organized by the Indian Armed Forces, supported by the government of Manipur. And this has put the entire stadium, the entire city of Manipur, absolutely in fire. They're frenzy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, especially when the team is down to 10 men. It's a very valid point when we talk about they stood very strong in that defense. They did everything possible, but this was unfortunate. Right in the dying minute, he's seeing his watch. He knows that 2 minutes more could have sealed the deal. But nevertheless, his team has fought hard. And what a goal from Arun Jack. Absolutely brilliant. Very opportunist.
Again, TRAU come trying one last time. They're very desperate. But again, it's been a wonderful game for the neutrals. And here comes the man of the hour, Arun Jack. A transfield pass to the right. They're bringing men forward. They're looking for 3 points. NEROCA. Suddenly, things are thrown open, absolutely. This time, good defending. Another ricochet. This is much away. And the referee blows a full-time whistle. We had 2 great goals. And what a heartbreak for this man, Sapam. This has been excellent all throughout. The full-time scorer at the Common Lumpak Stadium. NEROCA 1, Arun Jack the scorer, and TRAU 1, Raj. So both the second half goals, things have been excellent all throughout, Henry.
Yes, it's been a fantastic end-to-end action. Both the teams really wanting to go for a victory, and that's why that's called a derby over here. Every time they play over here, they must have come in out of the 11 times, 7 times NEROCA has won. TRAU has worked only 2 victories over here. But this time, if you see the ball possession, NEROCA slowly and steadily got up in the second half to get a 51% share. Their shots at goal